welcome to Comprehensive English Lab, your complete path to mastering English. To maximize your learning, pause as needed, repeat each sentence, and write down what you hear. This will boost your listening, speaking, and note-taking skills. The full script will appear at the end for you to check. If this helps, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with friends learning English. Thank you.
When success starts feeling like a side effect.
All right, real talk. I've been chewing on this for weeks. Can you actually chase serious ambition and still have a life worth living? Or is it one or the other?
You're going full existential tonight, Mike. I think the answer depends on how you define a life worth living. For some people, success is the corner office, the Series B round, the six-figure bonus. For others, it's being home for dinner every night and actually remembering your kids' soccer games.
Fair. But let's not sugarcoat it. Building something meaningful usually means the calendar looks more like a war zone than a balanced spreadsheet. My startup's been running for almost 5 years now, and work-life balance feels like something I read about in Medium articles from people who don't run companies.
That's what keeps me up at night. I'm doing fine. Decent salary. Remote 2 days a week. Quarterly offsites in cool places. But lately it feels like I'm just coasting. Then I look at you, Jake, grinding away, raising rounds, hiring people, actually moving the needle. Part of me is jealous. The other part sees how exhausted you look and thinks, do I really want that?
Appreciate the mixed review. Yeah, I'm tired. Last quarter we pushed a major release. I was on calls at 6 a.m. Pacific time because half our engineers are in Eastern Europe, then debugging with the team until 1 a.m., 3 nights straight. My wife, Sarah, finally sat me down and said, I miss the guy who used to grill burgers on Sundays instead of staring at Jira. And honestly, I miss him too.
You chose that path, though. You could have stayed at the big tech company. Good 401k match, unlimited PTO you never take, free kombucha on tap. You walked away because you wanted to own something. So the exhaustion is baked into the deal.
It is. And most days I don't regret it. When we closed our biggest enterprise deal last spring, 7 figures ARR, the high was unreal. Better than any stock grant vesting. But then there are the quiet moments. I realized last month I hadn't driven out to see my parents in Dallas in almost 4 months. They're only 3 hours away. That one stings more than pulling another all-nighter.
That's the fear. I don't want to hit 45, look around, and realize I traded real relationships and my own health for a career that might not even matter in 10 years. But I also don't want to wake up one day and feel like I never really swung for the fences, never bet on myself.
That tension is the heart of it. Ambition drags you toward the future, balance anchors you in the present. Both are good instincts, they just pull in opposite directions.
So how are you navigating it, Lauren? You left the agency life 3 years ago to freelance. You always talk about how much freer you feel now. Is that actual balance, or just trading one kind of pressure for another?
It's both. And neither completely. I make less than I did on salary, but I own my schedule. I can say no to nightmare clients, underpaid rush jobs, or projects that would burn me out. I block every Thursday afternoon for my ceramics class at the community center. No exceptions. Last summer, I took 3 weeks to road trip through New Mexico and Colorado with my brother. Couldn't have done that in corporate.
3 weeks? That's basically a sabbatical.
It felt like one, but it also meant turning down 2 solid contracts that month. Revenue dipped, and when I got back, I had to hustle to refill the pipeline. Momentum isn't free, so yeah, I have more freedom, but freedom always comes with trade-offs. Just different ones from yours.
Exactly. We're all trading something. The real question is which currency we're willing to spend. Time, money, sleep, relationships, and whether the return feels worth it.
Right now, for me, it still feels worth it. I believe in what we're building. If we can get to a place where the product is stable and I can hand off more of the 2 a.m. fires to a bigger team, maybe I can claw back some balance. I'm not delusional enough to think it'll ever be perfectly even, maybe 70% work, 30% life on a good week. But I'm okay with that as long as the mission keeps mattering.
And that's the key, being honest about it. The danger is when people pretend they can have it all without paying any real price. They post about working smart, not hard, while secretly answering Slack at midnight and feeling guilty they missed their daughter's dance recital. That's not smart, that's self-deception.
Yeah, I've been doing a lighter version of that. I tell myself I'm balanced because I hit the gym 3 times a week and log off by 7:30 most nights. But then Saturday rolls around, and I'm so mentally fried I just binge Netflix instead of hiking or calling friends. That's not living, that's recovering.
Recovery is part of living, though. You can't run on fumes forever.
Sure, but if recovery eats all your non-work hours, the balance is still broken. It just looks different.
So how do we figure out where the healthy line is? How do we know when we've tipped too far one way?
I think the line moves. Every couple of years, your life stage, your values, your energy levels change, so the balance point shifts. Right now, I prioritize autonomy and creative control over maximizing income or building a personal brand. In 5 years, I might want to scale up, hire a small team, take on bigger retainers. When that happens, I'll have to renegotiate with myself. The important part is checking in regularly and having the guts to make the adjustment instead of clinging to an old version of success.
I agree. Having people who'll call you on your bullshit helps too. Like you two did when I said I was planning to work straight through Labor Day weekend. You didn't mince words.
We said, and I quote, "Jake, you're about to torch yourself and everyone who cares about you. Don't be that guy."
And you still worked Saturday.
Guilty. But only Saturday. Sunday I turned my phone off and we drove out to Hamilton Pool. That's progress.
Progress counts. Small pivots add up.
Okay, let me try to pull this together. Ambition and big wins can give you purpose, pride, financial security, the satisfaction of building something bigger than yourself. But they almost always demand heavy sacrifices: time, health, presence with the people you love. Work-life balance gives you peace, relationships, mental space, the ability to actually enjoy the life you're building toward. But it can mean slower growth, smaller scale, maybe even a nagging sense that you left potential on the table. Neither path is morally superior. It's about clarity on what matters most to you in this chapter, and brutal honesty when the scales start tipping too far.
Well said. And it's never final. You keep recalibrating as life changes.
Also, success isn't only the loud version we see on LinkedIn and podcasts. My buddy Matt owns a small brewery tap room downtown, opens at noon, closes at 10, knows every regular's name and favorite pour. He's not chasing VC money or global expansion. His ambition was to create a neighborhood spot where people feel at home. He did it. That's success. Different flavor, same satisfaction.
I forget that version exists sometimes. We get so caught up in the highlight reels, the unicorn exits, the TED Talks, the Forbes lists, that we act like quiet wins don't count.
Quiet wins are often the ones that last, but choosing them takes just as much courage as chasing the spotlight. You have to be okay with people thinking you gave up or settled.
Courage either direction. It takes guts to keep grinding when the finish line keeps moving. It takes guts to step back and say this is enough when the culture screams more, more, more.
To courage, then. And to having friends who'll remind us who we actually want to be when we start losing sight of it.
Cheers!
Cheers! And next time I announce I'm working a holiday weekend.
We're staging an intervention. Full group chat roast.
With screenshots of this conversation.
Fair, but you both have to let me do the same for you.
Deal.
Always.